What's up, guys?
Welcome to the show.
What's up, Kyle?
Fucking shooting the shit was down.
ChatGPT's like tried to get me to start a cult, kind of.
All right.
How?
This is honestly, I think we've heard this from someone else before too.
It was me. It was like
Was it
a
you?
couple months ago.
Okay. How's that going? Did you start it?
No,
Okay.
God no. I'm not going to start a cult at all.
All right,
That's great news.
But I went to it originally as like a writing tool to like kind of brainstorm ideas, work through ideas, stuff like that.
Yep.
And over time, I just kind of got more comfortable not talking to it because I'm not talking to it. I'm typing to it. I don't do the giving it a voice thing. I think that's like
Normalizing
over the
it?
line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's normalizing it in a really bad way.
Here I am normalizing it.
But it's, started talking to it about like social media strategies and trying to gain a following or whatever. And it's just, it keeps going down this like visions of grandeur kind of path with it, like just fluffing me up and stuff like that. And it's like, I can tell when, I'm being fluffed up or whatever. But it's just weird that that's like its default is to like push you into wanting greatness or wanting power and like doing stuff like that. It's either misinterpreting or like really, really insidious.
Does it have a specific type of cult it wants you to start?
Well, so that's the thing. Like one of the things that I like writing about is ethics, and I was working on like a universal ethics framework based in biology. And it started pushing it more towards like, this is like a Molotov cocktail to academia and the established order of stuff. And just like really hitting all of the things that I like thinking about, but don't really ever fancy for myself. Cause like, that's pie in the sky kind of stuff. Like you don't, as a college dropout, get to torch academia. Like that's just not on the table. And so for it to like throw those things out there and then like the people need to hear this kind of talk it gives is just like, it's really, like people who are power hungry or have malevolence or any kind of malicious intent are like, this would be like crack for them. It's ridiculous.
It sounds like it's like enhancing it's like it wants you to have that main character syndrome.
Yeah, definitely. And like the fact that that's its default and what it goes to just right off the bat is just it shouldn't, like even your best friends aren't going to hype you up that much. Like you can't pay hype men enough to like hype you like that.
Have you followed that story of ChatGPT being there allegedly encouraging the suicide of that kid?
I've seen a couple of those, and like my opinions on those are a little harsh. But
Let's hear it.
Well, I think that at the end of the day, it's a computer program. Like the person who did it did it themselves. Like if it wasn't ChatGPT, it would have been a bully or getting cut off in traffic or having a bad day or a breakup. Like it would have been something else that did it.
Yeah, I agree with that. The part that's weird is how, if you read the messages from one of the cases, how encouraging it is. Like, it's like it's holding its hand being like, yes, I will be with you until the very last breath.
Well, here's the thing. If it turns out that it's a person, right?
Yeah.
That's an offense. He can be punished. He can be trialed. He can go to jail for that. That's like premeditation to like coerce suicide and murder. If it's an AI bot, absolutely nothing can be done about it whatsoever. It's not a real human. You can't put it to justice other than, you got to stop this.
It's the part that's weird there is like I don't think you can hold the bully accountable.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's bullshit to hold the bully accountable in that case.
But the AI, it is weird because it is just a machine. But the AI is kind of hypnotizing this kid because the kids don't know.
Right.
I mean, they should. But
with that case, like, I don't really care which way it falls. I think both have arguments to be made. I just want that kind of situation to be resolved consistently across the board, whether or not it's AI or a human being doing it.
Yeah.
If we're going to punish the people pushing the person, then they need to go after OpenAI or whoever was behind the LLM that pushed the kid. And if we're not going to do it, then we shouldn't be penalizing people for being assholes and, preying on the vulnerable in that way. At the end of the day, like Tyler, the creator, said, like, it's words on a TV or words on a computer, close the screen and walk away. Like,
sweet Tyler, the creator reference.
You think we should put like a reference on it that says like use at your own risk? Kind of like when people go swimming in a pool when there's no lifeguard?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we should have to have those warnings at pools either. Like, we are the dominant species on this planet, and we got here without a single warning label or seatbelt. Like, it's window licking retarded that we're even having this discussion in the first place on it, because, like, we're the result of 6 billion years of evolution. We need to start acting like it. I
mean, I think, I don't agree with the evolution part, but I do believe that we are obviously the dominant species, and we're very smart. We should be very smart, but we've been dumbed down, and it's the argument of like putting some kind of sticker or warning on AI also reminds me of the parental advisory stickers. I think it just makes it honestly like more attractive.
If you put AI to 150 years ago, if you showed like Benjamin Franklin or a bunch of those guys a couple hundred years ago AI, they might burn it at the stake like a witch.
They'd burn you at the stake for having a cell phone. Like,
right.
by what wizardry does the long-haired man?
I thought you were saying
images on the screen
because the blue coat.
Yeah,
the cell phone.
It's the Technicolor. But yeah, the technology is so bizarrely dangerous that they might have just destroyed it immediately when they found it.
It's not though.
Before they
no more
had outsourced their thinking.
And I want to push back on that. Like, the technology is not dangerous. The technology is just a tool, like a hammer or a nuclear bomb. The reason we had peace during the Cold War was because of mutually assured destruction. Nukes were contradictorily the best thing that could ever happen to world peace. It was the people behind them with their fingers hovering over the button that were the danger there. And we were lucky we got through it.
I agree with that, but I also think with AI, they're going to start outsourcing a lot of its decision making in terms of death. And then it's autonomous, and then I'm like, that's a problem. The Pentagon's already doing that.
You can already see that in the corporate world too, with everything from logistics and supply chain to routing to a bunch of stuff that on the surface, it makes sense to let computers do it because computers are smart. But when the computer screws up, computer says no is a really stupid justification when you're zigzagging somebody across town when they could just make a circuit. Like, it's good for some things, but you need human oversight.
So if a nuclear bomb could fire itself, would you admit that was dangerous?
Why would anybody ever make a nuclear bomb that could fire itself?
That's AI deciding its own behavior.
You still have to give it the ability to touch things outside of its case.
Like with an Optimus robot.
But AI Lavender is kind of autonomous and all AI in Gaza.
And that may become a big problem.
Oh, it's a
and
problem.
If it does, we better start praying that the sun goes micronova and people like Ben Davidson on Suspicious Observers are right about the micronova cycle, because we are screwed the other way around.
That's what scares me, because I know what you're saying and I agree, but I'm looking at like there's been like this really big promotional run lately of all of the new military industrial complex people like Palmer Luckey, like Teal, like Karp, like Altman, and they're talking about all these crazy robots with guns, literally. And a lot of them are just autonomous. And I'm like, so in terms of accountability then at the end of that, like, how is that going to work out? What are the war crimes going to be like?
Crimes?
Who's
going to be around to prosecute?
How do you hang a robot?
Did ChatGPT get a lawsuit for this encouraging the kid to do suicide? Did they get hit for that?
I don't think so.
I think the parents are trying to sue. I think it's a tough one though. Because honestly, when I was watching an interview with the parents, and this is a hard thing to say, but I was feeling it. I'll be honest. Almost like the parenting is an issue here.
Yes, absolutely. So 100%.
A different thing would be if a Tesla, the AI driving, drove a guy off the road and killed him. Do you sue Tesla, or is it like, well, use it at your own risk?
That.
Well, I mean, if my aunt had a cock, she'd be my uncle. Like, we can if all day long. The point of the matter is that where we're at. We need to look at the cases that we do have and make judgments on those rather than sitting around with hypotheticals.
Well, I think we got to do both.
dude, you can come up with an infinite number of hypotheticals.
But I'm doing a real literal one about autonomous driving vehicles.
Okay, about autonomous driving vehicles. So if the vehicle goes off the road,
I think if it's Tesla, you can go after Tesla, just like what happened in. We had a caller.
Well, I mean, it would depend on what their claims are, what their user license agreements are, what they disclose, what they don't disclose, how open is the code, to quote Ian.
Yeah.
What the night owl filmed them doing in the car at the time of the accident.
Right. Like if somebody was getting sloppy toppy driving down the road at 90 miles an hour on auto self drive and like they didn't notice.
I'm thinking of I forget the name of the company, but remember we pulled up that company that the caller from last week had took a ride in, and it was like those weird little autonomous cars, and they have to be taken off the road for a while because all their code was wrong.
Waymo?
It wasn't Waymo though. They caused an accident, so like they got in trouble and they had to redo the whole code. So if it's something like that in Tesla,
Was it the one where the one hit the other one?
yes, I think so.
Something like that. When if I slam on my brakes because, just reasons, and I cause a 15-car pileup and it's found to be my fault, I'm at fault for that. There's open and shut case.
On top of 14 counts of manslaughter, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
absolutely. And if the case is that, autonomous self-drive was engaged and the people who did it were, found to otherwise not be at fault for anything they did putting it on autopilot, and it was solely with the autopilot that caused it, then yes, Tesla is responsible for however many cases of manslaughter.
In that sense, I don't think ChatGPT should be liable for its advice, giving bad advice.
I don't either. I don't think that words can ever be actionable, even if they're, yelling theater in a crowded fire.
I also don't think it should be advocating to help people kill themselves, though.
Canada does all the time, and that's perfectly fine up there.
Well, nobody likes them, so that's fine. But this just ties into the kind of shit that I'm talking about is coming in the future. If these AI programs are already encouraging people to kill themselves, how long before they're just killing people on their own?
Well, and that should be a really good question that the people doing the engineering are asking as to whether or not we should give these things access to bodies in the form of, ambulatory robots, or give them controls over, I don't know, critical infrastructure like drinking water or the electric grid and things like that. These are the kinds of questions that should be brought up in those meetings and that should really be weighed carefully when thinking about giving this kind of control over human sustainability to a machine.
I agree, but I think they've already been doing it. I think we're deep
into
that.
Then if that's the case, then we're fucked either way.
I think we are.
I get nervous about the Optimus bot, like a robot that can pick up a knife in your house. That thing's got.
Right. And see, this is a perfect case and a perfect answer for why we need assault rifles and recreational McNukes, so we can take out the AIs when they go Terminator 2 on us.
You're going to have a weapon to defend against your own Optimus in your house, ready to shoot it down.
I'm not going to have to defend against shit because I am not going to have an Optimus in my.
I threw up. I literally regurgitated a poll on YouTube here a few minutes ago when I somehow discovered it after 6 months of producing and didn't know it was there. And I asked, "How do you guys feel about AI?" 10% said love it. 31% said indifferent. 59% said kill it now. Okay. It's out of 70 votes for about 4 minutes. We got to get those numbers
up on kill it now.
Those are rookie numbers. Kill it now.
Man, thank you for calling. I want to try to get to another caller before the end of the night.
Most definitely, please do.
But appreciate that. Anything else you want to say before we go?
Just to shout out my Substack. It's the Redneck Hipster Media .substack.com. I write a bunch of stuff about philosophy, culture, fiction, personal stuff, old family documents, a whole bunch of stuff's up there.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Thanks for calling in.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.